Hey, y'all. My name is LaGina Rae, and I am with LaRae Infinity Audio Productions, and we're here at the 2023 WBEA Conference right here in Houston, Texas. And y'all, I am here. I don't normally introduce people, but I am here with Dr. April Day, the president of WBEA. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Absolutely.
We are at the end of the conference.
Honey.
You did that. So this is a celebratory moment.
Okay.
I want you to talk to us about how you found WBE.
How I found WBEA? Oh, gosh. So I actually shared a little bit of this story. It might have been yesterday at one of our events, but I actually was just trying to look to do something different in my world that still added impact. So I came from education. And I was working at the college. I think I had been there like 11 years. And I was like, you know what? I want to do more. I want to do some more. And that's just been my thing. I consider myself to be a change agent. So I'm just like, where else can I create change? Where else can I cause something else to happen? And I absolutely loved what I was doing. I worked with low-income first-generation students, helping them go to college, and it was powerful. So as I was trying to think about this shift of change, I was in the middle of my PhD program. I got a call from this recruiter, and they were like, hey, we have this federal grant that helps to start women-owned businesses and help women increase their economic prosperity. And I was just like, ding, ding, that's a win.
Wow.
Right? That's a win. I applied. I didn't really have a lot of business knowledge. And I was like, I'm going to apply. It's a grant. It's federal. It's helping people. It's changing the world. I could do it. So I applied, got the interview. And I interviewed with them, and they were like, listen, we have this grant. It's like 125 pages. Read it and tell me what you can do with it. Make it come to life. So I read through the grant, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm helping people start businesses. Whoa. I'm helping people create new hires. I'm helping people really, really get on the landscape. And I'm doing something for individuals that are sometimes forgotten, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I can do that. I'm helping people find funding to launch their dreams. What? I want to be a part of it. So I put together this kind of like 10 scope way that I would kind of launch this out and tackle Houston in a space that I didn't know anything about. And then all of a sudden she's like, okay, this looks beautiful. What do you know about supply diversity? And I said to her, that's a good question. Here's what I know. I know that just to break down the words, right, it means that you're probably creating an opportunity to diversify the suppliers that you're currently using. But what we don't know is that when we are diversifying our supplier base, we also have to make sure that we're providing one true opportunity, true education, true connection, mentorship, and funding them so that they are successful when they launch these, when they get these contracts. And so she's like, I like it. So the interview was crazy. I wound up having an asthma attack, almost died. But, 3 hours later and 1 month, I got offered the job. Yeah. And I was just like, I am in love and I haven't left. I've been with the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance since 2011 in April.
April.
Yeah, April 2011.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Well, happy anniversary. Oh. And one of my favorite things that you just said was to support that diversity piece, right? Like people throw it out there a lot. But when you throw out diversity and you let people enter into it and you don't provide support, you're putting them back in the same situation they were in before. And you said quality. Yes. And what I've seen over the last couple of days and what I got to see when I met you in Tennessee, which was wild, went all the way to Tennessee and Texas was all up in it, y'all.
Right.
WBENC, Texas was there, yes, right? But what I saw was this true support. So that what I said earlier in an interview was that you don't have to go in the room and be like, do I belong here? The room is for you.
Absolutely.
And I love that, the 51%, the fact that on a panel you broke down that it's not just the 51% of the certification, you need to know the business. You can't be the face or the talking head. We want to know, do you know how it bends? Yes. Do you know how it moves and everything?
Do you know how everything is working, the inside and out? And that's important because our corporations and the federal entities trust us to say, yeah, you're doing business with a bona fide woman-owned company. And so the vetting isn't easy, but neither is being a business owner.
Neither is being a business owner.
And neither is being a business owner and getting a contract. And neither is being a business owner and getting a contract and keeping it and getting another one and making sure that you stay solvent while you're doing it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. So we're here at the conference and we're talking legendary. And it's been a great conference. It's big, but it feels so small, like at the point where you can touch everybody and talk to everybody. So what has been your win this year for this conference here in Houston? We're at this beautiful location. What's been your win? Because I know you've been supporting everybody else.
Yes. I think my win probably is just getting to see the faces of everyone coming back in person. We were a little nervous. We were like, okay, let's just shoot for 100 and make this happen. We ended up with over 250. And I was a little nervous. I was like, oh man, no one gets sick. No one gets sick. But there was so much energy in the room, and it was really tied to what is the impact, and then what are we causing to happen together? And I think that was really good. And I think that the other piece that really resonated for me is, and I've done this before, right? I've been a victim and I've been a culprit, where you stand up there about what you're doing and you just rattle off the statistics, right? You rattle off these numbers. You rattle off what your accomplishments have been. And I wanted to do things differently because after COVID, we realized we got to do things differently. And the one piece of doing things differently is connecting humanly, right? Creating those transformational relationships, not just I want to get a contract. And so instead of just standing up there and rattling off all the amazing things that we've done in WBEA, because we've done a lot, right?
Yes.
The numbers are there. I really wanted to tap into everyone's real reason why. The why they're here, the why the corporates are here, the why you started your business, and tell the stories of these women-owned companies that are absolutely legendary.
Yes.
There's some things that are happening in their lives sometimes that could halt, stop, disrupt their business completely, break bank in their business.
Yeah.
But you overcome these obstacles and you are stronger and you emerge, greater on the other end. And then there's corporations that have to trust that our WBEs are going to have the capacity, have the capability, have the expertise to do what you say you're going to be able to do without them putting you out of business, right? Because that can happen. You take on a big contract, you're not flush with cash, you haven't leveraged other people's money. You take on this big contract and you're like, whoa, they pay late.
Yeah.
120 days later, you still got to pay your people, but you haven't been paid on that contract. But if you're not thinking about really the other pieces of the business and the stuff that happens, right? I think you say it on your show sometime, that mess, right? That happens. I wanted to get down in it and say that it's not just the flash that you see. It's not just the flash of the package that you see. It's not just the building that you saw a woman-owned company do construction for, but it's all the stuff that had to happen for her to get there. And there were some obstacles. There was some mess, but there was also supporters.
Yeah.
So I wanted to highlight the support mechanism that is the Women's Business Enterprise Networks and how that shows up for the WBEA.
And you've done that. And you're saying connectivity. And I can tell as a leader, because throughout the day, the production team, we're here and we've been working, and it seems like every business, there's two things that have been said. One or the other or both is the piece about connecting and the genuineness of it, and I'm going to take your hand and I'm going to take you to it. And I'm going to show you how to drink the water. And I'm also going to show you where I got the water from, which is powerful.
And how to pay for it.
And then the other piece that everybody keeps saying is the give back, right? Like once you've done it, and it sounds similar, but it's not, right? You can show somebody you can do, but the give back, like in the connection. So I've got this huge contract. Oh, I don't do that, but I know somebody
I know someone
that does.
Who can.
And all that keeps coming through my brain is this spider web. So now every time I think of WBEA, I think of a spider web, like Charlotte's Web, and like just how everybody's woven together and really thinking forward on, okay, I could do this, and this is my piece of the pie. Here's the other part of the pie here. They need that too. So I love that part of it. And I think it's so powerful and it speaks to what's going on and everything that you're doing. We have people crying on stage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And got the chance to sit down with Tiffany, from Twice Media.
I haven't seen her in so long. It was so great to see her.
But you haven't seen her because she's doing the things that she's learned here and getting the contracts. And it's so exciting. So what do you hope or want to see, or what are you planning next that you want to tell us about?
So we are planning a tier 2 engagement because that's the other piece of it, right? Not everyone's going to do business with a Shell, a Chevron, at ExxonMobil, our top supporters that you saw, BP, MD Anderson. Not everyone's going to do business with a federal entity or a corporation. But, you and I can do business together, right? And you can probably do business with this person. So we are going to do this tier 2 engagement where we're taking the primes, meaning this is the person that does have the contract with ExxonMobil, but they can bring you in on that project, right? You and some more people on that project. So that's tier 2. We're going to connect the primes with the individuals, those companies, those businesses that can help them exceed their expectations for the majors, right? And put them together. And that's not a matchmaking. It's not going to be where, okay, this person wants to meet with you, they're a prime. Right. No, we're really going to do something foundational and really change this system of, if you will, of, how do I get a contract? And so that's going to be happening on August 24th at the United Way. And it's simply called WBA Tier 2 engagement. So I'm excited.
I'm excited about it too. And it's smart because what I've heard throughout this conference is this understanding, and I think you hear it in business all the time, the understanding of your capacity. And a lot of women that have been at this conference, they may not be interested in tier 1 and the capacity thing for them. And they're like, well, how do I get the tier 2? And so I love the fact that you're putting those two things together, but it speaks to what you said earlier. You're out here on the ground. So you're understanding exactly what's going on. And so it's really exciting to know that in August, the tier 2 people are meeting with the primes and that are doing business with here, because then again, the spider web. It's a spider web. And it really works together. I want to know the thing that you want to tell the aspiring business owner, the person that's thinking about it, they're not sure, and they don't know where to start.
We had our WBA pitch competition. Round 1 was yesterday. The final round was today, and it was amazing. And then we just, had our 4th cohort in the WBA Edge program, which is a multi-week, capacity building, competitive edge type program. And I think a lot of times people go into these programs or they're getting ready to do these pitch competitions, and you have this dialogue that plays in your head like a tape, and it's telling you you're not ready yet, right? What are you doing in there? You see all these big names? How are you going to compete? And so I think whenever you start your own business, there's nothing really new. Like you're just doing something, but it's like bread companies. It's a bunch of bread. We still need bread. So what's going to be different about your bread? Now you're going to have crustless bread. You're going to have, what do they got? Next thing you know, we're going to have
extra grains.
bread weeks. Made with oat milk now. So whatever, eggless bread, whatever, right? I would say there is room for you. If there's room for more bread, butter, rice, you see the shelves, then there's room for you. And ignore the dialogue that happens in your head and tell it step aside for a little while, because there's room for you. So allow yourself to step in those uncomfortable places of that you think that you may not belong, or you think, do I have this right? Allow yourself that space and get the resources that are going to help you be competitive and reach the goals that you're trying to reach. Get someone else to align with you on your goals. So I would tell people, ignore the dialogue and know that you do belong in that room.
You belong in the room.
And just do it.
Yeah, just do it. You let that bad ego step to the side and let that good ego let you step into a room. I love that. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell everybody, who you are and where we can find WBEA, and we'll head out.
Okay. You have my book. That's me.
I know. Yes. I've been holding it all. So I was like, can you sign this for me? All right.
So I am Dr. April Day, and I'm the president with the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance. That some people like to say WBEA. And I'm so excited to be, I just love you. She makes it so much easy to do this when I don't like it. But I love it. So to find us, it's at www.wbea-texas.org.
We'll put it below.
Yes, it's a lot.
Yes. All right, y'all. This is a wrap to the 2023 WBEA Conference right here in Houston, Texas. My name is LaGina Rae, and this is LaRae Infinity Audio Productions. And until next time, peace. Bye, y'all.